Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you lot are all doing well today, man. I really do hope that. Welcome back to not Chelsea news, no. A video where I want to talk about where Chelsea can strengthen going into next season to ensure they have a decent title challenge and who knows, man, maybe even win the Premier League in Frank Lampard's second season managing Chelsea, third season in management. Sweeping statement, I know, but it could happen. Chelsea are going to be incredibly stacked going into the next campaign. With a front line of Tammy Abraham, Olivier Giroud, Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, potentially Willian, who's performing well, Christian Pulisic, Mason Mount, who's playing well, Callum Hudson-Odoi might be there, he might be on loan, who knows, possibly even the superstar signing of Kai Havertz. And they've got other youngsters, Tino, Andrew, Broja. There's loads of excellent young attacking talent. I've probably missed some, man. The front line and the midfield is completely stacked. Problem is, Chelsea's defensive record this season is the second worst in the top half of the table, despite being third place. That's right. Only Burnley has a worse record. That's no good, dude. That is no good. Sure, I think the team needs to learn and develop systemically to defend better, but really, let's be real, guys. It's a personnel issue as well. A lot of talent at the back of Chelsea's pitch, but no chemistry, and nothing seems to be working. So today, we're going to talk about players that could fix the final problem. With all this new talent coming up front, we buy something at the back and together make a title challenge. So it's going to be fun going through the potential players Chelsea have been linked with and talking about who they could possibly end up with. So strap yourselves in, boys and girls, it's going to be a banger, but before we get into it, I need to remind you sitting there to go check out the wonderful platform OneFootball. Ding ding ding, OneFootball is the only place to get all your football news and information, stats, fixtures, transfer news, all of it, mate. You can follow Chelsea on the app, it gives you alerts and everything you need to know about Frank Lampard's Blues, but also football in general. I'll urge you guys all to go check out OneFootball by clicking the link in the top of the description that I've left down there. So easily for you guys to go and give it a little tap. Anyway, I use it all the time, you should too. Check out OneFootball. Alright, let's get into it. So today we're talking about the back of the pitch, boys and girls, and there's a lot of problems. Let's start between the sticks. Kepa Arrizabalaga. Dude, I have defended Kepa so much. I watched him loads live at the Bridge last season and a few, times this season when he looked okay. Penalty shootout hero in the semi-final against Eintracht Frankfurt. Did a load of good big saves as well in between. Good with his feet, he did some sweeping passes as well. He looks like a very technical, exciting young Spanish goalkeeper. And I'm just at the point now where the stats keep coming out from Sky Sports over and over and over. And even though he's making the good save in between here and there, like points saving saves, like against Crystal Palace, it's getting difficult to see this keeper being in goal and winning the Premier League. Take a look at Sky Sports' latest stat that they wanted to rub in all the Chelsea fans' faces. It's really unpleasant. It certainly makes for unpleasant viewing. Now I know on this particular graphic it's saying goalkeepers that have played at least 5 games, but skewed it a little bit, but still, man, you can't escape how bad these numbers are. Now, it's important to note for all you Kepa protectors out there, I'm not completely writing off the goalkeeper. I just think as things stand, as things develop, while there isn't a settled defence in front of him to settle him, I think Chelsea need to move on for a little bit. There's been talk of a 2-year loan back to Spain, and I kind of think that's the perfect solution for him to rebuild his career and his confidence, because he looks short of confidence, and then who knows, maybe he can come back like Thibaut Courtois did. I'm not writing him off, but for the moment, in my humble opinion, just my opinion, I think we need to change it for the moment. And although Chelsea have been linked with loads of different goalkeepers of late, Donnarumma, maybe even Nick Pope, who's having an amazing season, I think the most realistic acquisition would be Andre Onana of Ajax. That's right, Onana's pretty much has his heart set on leaving Ajax and is ready for the move. The club themselves have pretty much said, yes, we will release him if the price is right. He'll probably cost around £30 million and generally is a pretty darn good goalkeeper. He's performed at a high level in the Champions League. He's generally a very commanding and confident goalkeeper who's still very young. I would be very happy if Chelsea signed Andre Onana on a long-term deal to play as the first team goalkeeper at Chelsea Football Club. I'd feel a lot more confident having someone new in goal just for a bit. I feel revitalised as a Chelsea fan, and I think perhaps Onana could offer that. Right, I'll take a moment to say this will just be defenders from now on. I did think about a central midfielder, like a defensive one, but the truth is, even if Jorginho does go, which I'm starting to think he won't, Billy Gilmour will develop in that role well. N'Golo Kante looks like he's playing that role well, and Mateo Kovacic can definitely deputise in the number 6 role in defensive midfield. So Chelsea, at this point, genuinely don't need any midfielders. So let's go back to defence. Centre half. Chelsea look like they have a starting level centre half in Kurt Zouma. Now, Andreas Christensen has his moments. He had an amazing game against City. He does look like there's a great player in there, but time is running out to cement and solidify this great player as a senior player going forwards. Christensen isn't a kid anymore, and to be honest, in terms of taking responsibility and looking effective, Kurt Zouma is really the only one out of the whole bunch. So for theoretical sake, we're saying who's going to partner Kurt Zouma next season in Chelsea's defence. Well, Chelsea have been looking for the holy grail of a left-footed defender, and they identified one in the shape of Gabriel of Lille, who at one point earlier this summer looks like they were nailed on to sign, and perhaps it was almost looking imminent. Maybe this was fake news, maybe it wasn't, but a lot of people are looking at Gabriel, most notably Everton as well. He would be a good defender to partner Zouma, but there is a sort of element of risk in bringing a Liga and central defender to Chelsea to play in that role. I would be excited to see a left-footed defender there, especially if he doesn't cost the world. But is this really the answer? I'm not so sure. To be honest, a lot of Chelsea fans are asking for this world-class Koulibaly to come in and partner someone, but I don't think that's necessarily realistic, so we have to sort of temper expectations there. Another realistic signing that's been touted more and more and more is Declan Rice, the CDM / centre-back from West Ham, once of the Chelsea Academy, to come into SW6 and play in the centre-back role for Frank Lampard. Chelsea can acquire Declan Rice for not an insane amount of money. I think this would be a very good signing personally. He takes responsibility, he's commanding everything Chelsea are looking for in the defensive back line. He's not left-footed, but he can spray long passes. He's got good defensive nous. He can move into midfield if he needs to. He's comfortable there, so that's all positive stuff really. But above all, man, he's Premier League proven. There's minimal risk in that sense. He knows the players around him. Really, he should have no issue fitting in and playing in, well, he won't have any issue playing in the Premier League because he's doing that well already. Certainly of late, he's had some excellent performances, so I'd probably be quite interested in signing Declan Rice. I know he divides opinion between Chelsea fans. Hey man, that's just me. And of course, Chelsea are going to need a left back. We don't know what's going on with Marcus Alonso. There's a good chance he'll be sold. Certainly Emerson Palmieri's put in a transfer request. We know Ian Maatsen has high hopes of deputising in that role, but nothing changes the fact how Chelsea are indeed looking for a starting left back. Most heavily linked over the last, months and months and months is of course Ben Chilwell, Leicester's left back, England's starting left back. The left back that had a really good last season, started this season really well, got to about December, January, and his form fell off a cliff. Even if he has scored a world-class golazzo recently, he did actually make a couple of good defensive actions last time I watched him, but generally he'd been really, really poor. He'd cost a lot of money because Leicester do not need to sell him, and they are in a strong position with a good manager and good owners. But if Frank Lampard really wants him, if he sees something in Ben Chilwell that he thinks will develop well in the Chelsea Football Club team, I kind of have to back the manager on this one. To be honest, man, any new left back signing at this point would excite me. Of course, Ben Chilwell might be Frank Lampard and Ashley Cole's favourite and their priority, but there are other options that Chelsea have been linked with. They've long been linked with Alex Telles of Porto, who they've been looking at for years and years and had been negotiating with Porto months ago about the player. So of PSG. No one knows what those talks are developing at the moment, but of course, yet another Ajax player, Nicola Tagliafico. Very, very good left back indeed. A little bit more senior as well, like Telles, as opposed to Ben Chilwell. Chelsea signed Onana, Ziyech, and Tagliafico. They're pretty much just taking Ajax away and, leaving them with no players. Although you guys aren't going to like it, and although he's not been in great form, I think Ben Chilwell might make the most sense. And no, just before any of you in the chat say there's any form of English bias here, No, there's not. It's a Premier League proven incentive. Dude, I'm half French, so I'm as much French as I am English. I do like having English players in the team because, you know, Chelsea is a team in London. I support Chelsea. I go and see them. I live in England. You know, I do support the English national team. There's nothing wrong with wanting English players as an Englishman in your English football team. I do like having cultured players, and the truth is, man, Chelsea are one of the most multicultural football clubs in England. You know, go up north to like Burnley. Chelsea are full of like international talent, always have been, or certainly have been for like 20-30 years. In the instance of Ben Chilwell and Declan Rice, I'm just looking at less risk players, even if Ben Chilwell's been in poor form. Regardless, I'm like you, man. Any new left back holding up a Chelsea shirt will probably feel a little bit more comfortable. Anyway, how do you guys feel about the situation? What do you think? Get down in the comment section below and express your thoughts and opinions on potential incomings to this Chelsea squad. What do they need? What are the final pieces of the jigsaw to see them mount a real title challenge next season? Get down in the comment section below and express yourself. I'll be down there talking to you guys. If you've enjoyed the video today, drop a like, that means a lot. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and follow me on social media at Football Yannick. That is it from me, you lot. Enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I love me, baby.